welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're zoning in on an emerging market that's really starting to generate some buzz, Sindhudurg. It's this beautiful spot in Maharashtra's Konkan region, but it's more than just looks. There's a serious plan here for growth, and our job today is to really break that down for you, especially if you're maybe looking for investment opportunities in places that are, on the upswing.
Exactly. What makes Sindhudurg stand out right now isn't just the natural beauty or the history, though it has plenty of both. It's this very detailed destination master plan. It's not just wishful thinking, it's a strategic blueprint. We're going to pull out the key pieces, focusing on the real opportunities and the thinking behind it, especially for someone like you, interested in a market with tangible potential.
Right. So our goal is clear. Cut to the noise, show you the specific chances this plan offers, and give you a solid picture of why Sindhudurg is frankly becoming quite interesting for investors. Okay, let's unpack this a bit. First, just to set the scene. Sindhudurg, we're talking about roughly 5,200 square kilometers in the Konkan region. Now, the 2011 census data showed it wasn't densely populated compared to other districts in Maharashtra. And from an investor's perspective, that can actually be a positive signal, right? It means space. Potential for planned growth without sort of immediate urban pressure. Plus, it's got this deep history, Shivaji, the Marathas, rich culture base.
Absolutely. And what's really fascinating now is how they're actively using that history and those natural assets. It's not just nice to have, it's part of the economic strategy. This master plan, put together by Deloitte and IBI Group, isn't just about tourism in isolation. Think of it more as a comprehensive economic development plan. It clearly identifies the strengths, acknowledges the gaps, things that maybe held it back before, and lays out a very clear vision. And crucially, it specifically calls out to stakeholders, including investors like you.
It sounds properly joined up, which is vital. And I mean, for any growth plan like this, especially aiming at tourism and investment, getting in and out easily is paramount. So let's talk connectivity. How does Sindhudurg stack up and what improvements are planned?
Connectivity is, the lifeblood, and the plan definitely emphasizes making those connections robust. You've got the Sindhudurg domestic airport already linking to Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad. That's huge.
Yeah, immediate access to major hubs.
Exactly. For investors, that means accessibility. For higher spending tourists, for business travel, it sort of de-risks things. And they're planning upgrades at the airport too. Better info desks, some retail food options, digital displays showcasing the area, just enhancing that whole arrival experience.
Okay, so air travel is sorted. What about rail? Roads? Even water, given it's on the coast.
Good points. Rail is strong. The Konkan rail network runs right through, connecting Mumbai down to Mangalore. That's a solid backbone.
Right.
Then you have the roads National Highway 66, State Highway 180 are the main ones. The plan does note the need for, more public amenities along these routes, better signage, especially on state highways, little things that make a big difference to visitors.
Practical stuff.
And water, yes. Malvan Beach already has ferry services. Basic jetties exist at places like Malvan, Shivla, Devbag, Tarkarli for island hopping. But the future plans are interesting, developing luxury yachts and ferry services along the coast. That signals a move towards, a higher-end market.
Okay, groundwork laid. Now, let's zero in on the core appeal for investors. The actual opportunities. What specific attractions or developments should be on our radar?
Right. The plan breaks it down nicely. For history buffs, you have Sindhudurg Fort. It already gets over 300,000 visitors a year.
That's significant footfall.
It is. And they're planning to add illumination, an augmented reality light show. So taking an existing asset and really enhancing the experience, that creates spin-off opportunities, guided tours, maybe nearby cafes, shops. Vijayadurg Fort is another key historical site. And culturally, Sawantwadi is known for its traditional wooden toys, its festivals. There's potential there for craft-based tourism, experiential stuff. Plus, they're looking at policy incentives to revive local Malvani cuisine and arts like Dashavatari drama. Think unique dining, cultural performance venues.
Interesting. So blending history and local culture into tangible experiences. What about the natural sites? And Sindhudurg looks stunning.
Absolutely. The beaches are a major focus. Malvan, Tarkarli, Shivla, Devbag. There's a specific project called Chill at Shivla, a beachfront promenade with a pretty hefty budget. That indicates a real commitment to quality public leisure space.
Okay.
Malvan Beach is getting a revamp too, focusing on waste management, branding, and Amboli, the hill station popular in the monsoon.
Yeah.
They're planning pre-houses, that's a 7-core plus budget, and a nature interpretation center. This targets that ecotourism boutique accommodation market. And don't forget, the Turtle Hatching Festival at Wayangani Beach. That highlights the ecotourism angle. These aren't just attractions, they're market segments being actively developed.
So it's not just preserving nature, it's curating high-value experiences around it.
Yeah.
Are there any really out-of-the-box projects, things that could be game changers?
Oh, yeah. There are some really innovative, potentially high-impact ideas. The standout is probably the proposed 24-passenger submarine project.
The submarine? Wow.
Right. Estimated cost over 13 crores. That's a clear signal of ambition. They want to position Sindhudurg for premium marine tourism. Think high net worth visitors, luxury travel packages.
That certainly makes a statement.
It does. And the ripple effects could be significant demand for high-end hotels, bespoke services, premium retail. Then there's a rock art park planned, redeveloping the existing rock garden with light shows, cultural events, and Healy connectivity helicopter tours, helipads. Again, targeting a higher spending demographic.
These are definitely ambitious. But projects like these, especially the submarine or Healy tours, must come with logistical challenges, right? How does the plan address the practicalities of making this stuff happen smoothly?
That's a fair question. And the plan is, thankfully, quite realistic about acknowledging existing gaps. Things like needing more public toilets, clearer signs, managing visitor flows better, especially at popular spots. But it doesn't just list the problems, it proposes solutions. A key one is setting up a dedicated destination management organization, a DMO.
Okay, what would that DMO actually do?
Critically, it's planned to have financial autonomy. Its job would be to oversee quality standards, improve hygiene across the board, handle visitor complaints efficiently, basically act as a coordinating body. For an investor, that's reassuring. It means there's a mechanism being put in place to manage the destination professionally and tackle issues proactively, which reduces operational headaches.
That makes sense. A dedicated body to keep things running smoothly. So this brings us to a crucial point for anyone listening who might be interested. What kind of financial support, what incentives are actually on the table?
Right, the money side. This is where the master plan really connects with the Maharashtra tourism policy, the 2024 version. There are some attractive fiscal incentives, particularly aimed at MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises in the tourism sector. We're talking things like SGST reimbursement, which is significant. Interest subventions up to 5% on loans potentially up to 15-20 crore rupees. And help with costs for getting quality certifications.
Okay, that sounds pretty supportive. What kind of businesses qualify for these? Is it just hotels?
No, it's actually very broad, which is great. The definition of eligible tourism units covers a whole range. Yes, hotels, resorts, service departments, but also eco-friendly options like bamboo huts, tree houses, even mud cottages. Cruise boats, yachts, houseboats are included. And importantly, it extends to MI centers for meetings and conferences, plus wellness centers, and even tourism training facilities. So it really encourages a diverse tourism ecosystem.
That is comprehensive. It seems they really want to encourage different types of ventures, not just the standard hotel model.
Exactly. The plan explicitly promotes variety and accommodation. Star hotels, sure, but also heritage stays, those trendy pods, camping, glamping. And there are specific incentives tied to this, like potential GST breaks and support for using local building materials. That ties into sustainability, too. Agritourism and farm stays are also being pushed. Think mango picking experiences, tours of sustainable farms. And a key point, they're actively encouraging public-private partnerships, PPPs, for developing many of these sites.
So they're welcoming outside investment and expertise.
Definitely. It signals a collaborative approach to growth.
Okay, so the support structure seems robust. What about the rules and regulations? Getting permits, zoning, how easy is it to navigate the development side?
That's where the UDCPR comes in, the Unified Development Control and Promotion Regulations for Maharashtra. It provides the overarching framework. Think of it as the state's main planning rulebook. But Sindhudurg has specific Tourism Development Zone, or TDZ, regulations within that.
TDZ, so designated areas for tourism projects.
Precisely. And having these specific TDZ rules can streamline things for tourism investors. It means tailored provisions, maybe specific incentives within those zones. The process for getting development permission is laid out. Standard forms, fees, plans needed. It aims for clarity. And there's a direct incentive for sustainability. Green buildings, those with GREHA, IGBC, or LEED certifications, can get extra floor space index or FSI, like a 3-5% bonus on the basic allowance.
So a tangible reward for building green.
Exactly. It nudges development in a sustainable direction. And environmental clearances, particularly for smaller projects, are handled at the district level, which can sometimes be more efficient.
Okay, so a structured process with some green perks. Now, looking beyond the buildings and the money, what about people and planet? The human resources side and the sustainability angle, these are increasingly important, aren't they?
Hugely important.
Yeah.
And the plan does address this. They project significant job creation, thousands of jobs in tourism, hospitality, travel-related trades. And they recognize the need for training. So programs like the Pramod Mahajan Kaushalya Va Udyogta Vikas Abhiyan, or PMCO-UV, are there to support skills development, things like front office, customer service, travel desk operations. Building that local talent pool is key.
Makes sense. You need skilled people to deliver these experiences.
Absolutely. And on sustainability, there's a strong emphasis on ecotourism principles. Promoting plastic-free zones, tracking CO2 emissions, encouraging a shift towards e-mobility where feasible. They're also tackling practical issues like water quality management and better waste management, specifically mentioning the plastic waste management rules. And there's something called the I am policy, I meaning mother, which is a gender-inclusive tourism initiative aimed at empowering local women within the sector.
That's really interesting. A focus on social sustainability, too.
Right. It's about trying to ensure the growth is responsible and benefits the whole community. It acknowledges the challenges like amenities and signage that we mentioned, but it outlines these interventions like the DMO to ensure growth is managed well.
So, wrapping this up, it feels like Sindhudurg isn't just relying on its natural gifts. There's a serious, thought-through plan here. It's positioning itself not just as a place to visit, but as an integrated destination geared for long-term sustainable growth. It seems quite ripe for investment, wouldn't you say?
I would. The combination is compelling. You have the diverse offerings, history, adventure, the unique stuff like the submarine, eco options. You have clear financial incentives, a supportive regulatory environment, and crucially, that commitment to tackling the practical infrastructure gaps and investing in local skills. It paints a picture of potential that feels grounded.
Indeed. For you listening, if you're scanning the horizon for growing markets, Sindhudurg is clearly making its case with concrete projects and pretty solid backing.
You know, it does make you think. In a world where investment trends can sometimes feel quite short-term, how do these kinds of foundational, detailed destination plans, like Sintudurg's, potentially offer a more sustainable, more impactful path? Not just for the investor's bottom line, but for the whole community that's part of this growth story.
That's a great question to mull over. A really important thought as you consider the future of investing in these dynamic emerging markets. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.